Thank you for joining me for practice. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Please share it with family and friends. Those likes and subscribes really help us to keep this content coming. In the description is a link to our Patreon account. If you'd like to also offer a donation, that is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much. We'll begin in a comfortable seated position. Sit tall, close the eyes, rest the hands gently on the knees. And take a moment to settle into the mat, to this familiar spot, a place where we practice peace. And just watch the process that it takes to transition from the external world to the internal one. You can begin by feeling the body, the space the body is occupying. Begin to feel the breath coming in and going out. And as the mind turns its awareness to the breath, the quieting down of some of the thoughts or the vrittis, the fluctuations of the mind. And feeling the expansion of the abdomen on inhalation, contraction of the abdomen on exhalation. But also notice that the whole body feels like it's breathing. So that concentration of awareness and sensation might be in the abdomen, but if you pay attention, it goes all the way to the periphery. Now begin to make that breath smooth so that you eliminate any jumps or catches in the breath. And if you'd like, bring in the soft ujjayi sound, that ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath. And this just helps to focus the mind and provides a little auditory stimulus for it. And then finally, work your way towards an equal inhalation and an equal exhalation. Balanced breath. And so we are heading into a time of the year where we move towards the spring equinox, that quality of balance. Time when we detox, or the body naturally goes through that cleaning and clearing out process to bring ourselves greater into balance. And then the days and the nights are more equal in length. And so any place in our lives where we begin to feel imbalance are the areas that we need to adjust. And this is why we often feel motivated in the spring to do some cleaning of the house or clearing out of anything that accumulated over the winter, whether that's physically, mentally, or emotionally. And there's something very sweet about coming into that place of balance. There's a different kind of settling and contentment that comes from it. So in addition to the inhalation and exhalation being of equal length, now shift your attention to the tip of the nose and begin to watch the rise of the breath from the tip to the bridge, and then the fall of the breath from the bridge of the nose to the tip. And just concentrating your attention there, see if you can observe if the right nostril and the left nostril are the same, or if it feels like one is predominant. Does more breath feel like it's entering one side over the other? And we're not going to do anything to change that right now, just taking in the observation, but we're going to check back in at the end of the practice to observe if any shifts have occurred. And then from there, we'll bring in some specific pranayama to create balance, equanimity between these two channels, the Ida and the Pingala nadis. So take one more full breath here. And then lower your chin to your chest and bring your hands to your heart. Thumbs touching the sternum. And we'll set the intention for the practice today to create a greater sense of balance, both physically and energetically, through our asana, our pranayama, and meditation. And if you notice here, as you bring the hands at the heart, there's equal pressure between the palms, and that is not too much, it's not too little. It's just that right balance for you. So from feeling that physical representation of balance, we'll begin to do our chant of Om 3 times to align ourselves with the vibration of creation. And take a deep inhale in, full breath. And exhale out, purging again, just like that spring cleaning, any old air out through the body. And then take another deep inhale in. And lower your chin back down towards your chest. Take a moment to slowly open your eyes and bring yourself back into the room. And if your sit bones were propped, you might want to push the bolster or blanket out of the way and just come down with the hips on the floor. Extend the fingertips, join the index and the thumb together, and just for a moment, feel the root into the earth and the lift through the crown of the head. So now almost exaggerating that extension through the spine. And then from that place, keeping the tall spine, inhale, the arms reach out wide. Lift the arms up over the head, extend as high as you can, so really reach the fingertips, palms touch, and then turn the palms down and exhale and reach out and really feel like someone's pulling your arm away from you, so as much length as you can get. And then the fingertips will come back down to the earth. We'll do that again. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms face up. Lengthen, 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 and feel that tug along the side bodies. Stretch the fingers high. See if you can get the palms to touch. And then turn the palms down and slowly lower the arms. And we're going to do 3 more like that with your breath. But we're taking our time here, not only to lengthen the breath, but also to feel that beautiful sensation. So again, inhale, reach. And you might be able to find some of the areas where there's tension in the back body, and then exhale, reach out. Maybe observing some of the areas where there's tension in the neck and shoulders. Last 2 on your own, please. Get the breath all the way down toward the pelvic floor on inhalation, and then engage and lift the pelvic floor and navel to help push the breath out on exhalation. Last one. Now this next time we're going to inhale, reach the arms up, lift them over the head, and then interlace your fingers and push the palms away. So as you push the palms away, root even deeper into the earth, and you can lift the shoulders up by the ears for just a moment to exaggerate the side body stretch, and then gently lower them down, drawing the shoulder blades down the back. And it's very tempting here to poke the low ribs forward, so try to draw them in as well, feeling some stability and contraction there at the core. And now as you continue to reach the palms away, let your right ear rest on your right arm and lean over to the right side. And just feel the left hip staying anchored, left knee relaxed. Breathe into the side body. Notice if there's any tension there in the ribs. And come back to center and let your left ear rest on your left shoulder and slowly lean over to the left. And you might find that there's balanced sensation on both sides, and sometimes there's some imbalance, so just observe. Keep contracting, navel back to spine on exhalation. And then come back to center. And on your next exhale, you're going to slowly release the arms down again. And just feel how that prana rushes back into the arms, down towards the fingertips. And then just rest. You can just rest the fingers on the floor, or if you want to bring them back to the knees, that's fine. Feel for a moment all that sensation. Good. Keep the right fingertips down. Inhale the left arm up. Now we're going to take it a little bit deeper. So right hand's grounded. Left hip presses away from the fingertips. Top arm is reaching. And then pinky finger rotates down. Draw the head of the shoulder into its socket. And if you have the flexibility, try bringing the right forearm to the floor, going a little bit deeper here into the side body stretch. Again, navel hugs back on exhalation. Now we want to feel this whole back body here, so this latissimus dorsi muscle, and we're going to rotate the left shoulder down over that right leg. Feel how that big muscle stretches all the way through the hip, through the upper back, and then just settle your chest over your right thigh. Both hands are grounded, head and neck is relaxed. So there's a slight twist you might feel here in the upper torso. Stay heavy through the hips. And then once again, we're going to reach out through that left arm, rotate back into the position we were in before. You can either have the forearm down or have it lifted, and then left arm's going to reach back up and feel all that space as you come back into a tall spine. Fingers in a finger stand, relax for a moment. And then we'll do the other side. So left hand stays down, right arm reaches up, walk the fingers out, and now we're going to stretch a little deeper into the ladder on this side. and rotate that pinky finger down, draw the head of the shoulder into the socket. And you can stay here, or if you have that flexibility, you're gonna take the left forearm to the floor. Make sure right hip stays anchored, right knee stays relaxed. And it's so interesting to go slow because we can really begin to feel almost every single fiber in the musculature. And we become very aware of where the resistance is. Keep breathing down into the hip. Now, same thing here. We're going to feel this big muscle in the back body as we slowly rotate the chest over that left leg. Keep reaching through the fingertips as much as you can until the chest settles over the knee, and then you can bring the hands down. And now, once again, you're in this little bit of a twist, rotation. Head and neck is relaxed. Navel hugs back body on exhalation. And one more here, just see if there's any other tension you can let go of. And then same thing, we're going to reach out, go back into the position we were just in, and take your time to really extend. And then once you're in that side position, reach the right arm up and slowly come back up into that tall spine. Take a moment to just rest. All right, tabletop position. So we'll bring the hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, tops of the feet press firmly into the floor. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. Keep the spine extended here as you draw the navel in. Pull the tailbone down towards the floor. Reach through the back body. Head and neck is relaxed. Again, inhale, tabletop position. Heart lift, sit bones lift as you look up. Exhale, stay in the upward position and just push into knees, feet, draw the navel in and back, relax the upper back. Good, keep going, inhaling, exhaling. So on that inhalation, we get that cow tilt of the pelvis. And on the exhalation, we get what we call the cat tilt, that tailbone lengthening down. One more. And then inhale back into that cow tilt, tailbone lifted, heart lifted. As you exhale this time and you round out, we're going to move back to child's pose. So navel to spine, soften everything, walk the fingertips forward, head and neck is relaxed. And come up onto the fingertips for just a moment. Draw the heads of the shoulders down into their sockets. And then relax the hands down. And one more breath here. Good, we're going to come forward, but keep the elbows down towards the mat. Wrap the hands around the upper arms. Interlace your fingers and press your forearms down. Or if you'd like, you can spread your palms wide with your forearms parallel. Tuck your back toes under, and now lift your sit bones up and back for dolphin or forearm down dog. And then staying here, we'll pedal the feet, bend one knee, press the other heel down, and then bend the other knee and press the other heel down. And just begin to move back and forth a few times through the legs, opening them up. Now, as you're moving, make sure those hips stay lifted. That helps to extend the waist. And you're pressing down through the forearms, not sinking into the shoulders in any way. And then find your feet hip distance apart, turn your toes in slightly, heels out, roll your inner thighs in and back, and allow your hips to continue to lift. Now it's more difficult to get those heels down towards the earth here in this forearm down dog, so you can send the energy down that way even if the heels don't touch. And each exhalation, the navel hugs in and up underneath the rib cage, hollowing out the belly. Head and neck stays relaxed. One more here. And then lower the knees down. Bring your hands under your shoulders and just sit tall on your heels. For a minute, just rest the spine, feeling again all that prana moving through the channels. And we're just going to do one more, opening the spine in the other direction. So fingertips are going to point behind you, press down through the hands, and now lift the heart. Let the shoulders roll open. Let the sternum extend, opening all that space there in the chest. Keep feeling the knees reaching towards the floor, the tailbone absorbing in. Two more here. And then pull your sternum forward to come back into a seated position and just rest the hands comfortably in the lap. Tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. Okay. So tabletop position again, we'll just briefly come into downward facing dog. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up, and then keep that heart lifted as you tuck the toes and reach the hips up and away. Downward facing dog. So the legs are the same that we had in dolphin, toes turned in slightly, heels out. Roll the inner thighs in and back, lift the hips. And then in the upper body, just make sure you roll your shoulder heads away from your ears, squeeze your inner elbows toward one another, and press down firmly through the web of the index and thumb. And just take a moment here to really solidify this posture in your practice. All those alignment principles. And then rise onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, look at your hands, and step forward to your fingertips. And take a moment here in standing forward fold to open up the backs of the legs. So keep a little micro bend in your knee. Take your hands onto your glutes and roll the hands down just a little bit, giving a nice little massage. Feel the chest really soften over the thighs. Good. And then we're going to interlace the fingers behind our back and draw the knuckles up and away from you to stretch out your shoulders. And if you'd like, you can do a little bit of that flossing of the shoulder blades, knuckles near the sacrum, and then reach the knuckles back over the head. And do that a few times. Just loosening the upper back. And then slide the hands back down the legs. And then keep your right leg straight, but bend into your left knee. And your hands can just be gently on the floor. Of course, you can always bring the floor up to you by using your block. And then bend the other knee and press the other leg straight. Upper body soft. And then a little micro bend in both knees. Bring your hands to your hips. Press equally into both feet and slowly rise up to standing. Take your time as you come into Samastiti. You can roll the shoulder heads away from the ears. And then just find standing mountain pose. Eyes can be open with a soft gaze or eyes can be closed. And now just for a moment, feel the balance of the spine and maybe some equanimity in the mind. Quality of being present in the here and now. And then we'll do some sun salutations. So come to the front of the mats with the big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Surya Namaskara C, but we're going to do a half variation. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. And step the right leg back, lower the knee, top of the foot. Inhale up for low lunge. And then exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, the arms reach out wide as you lift. And exhale, hands to heart your way. Let's do on the other side. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold, navel in. Left leg goes back, lower knee, top of the foot. Inhale up for low lunge. And then exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step the back foot forward. And this time, if you'd like, interlace your fingers, Yoga Mudra. Then bend your knees and scoop through chair. Come into standing extension. Arms are forward and up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg goes back this time. Inhale, low lunge. And then exhale, step forward. And if you'd like here, interlace Yoga Mudra. Bend and scoop, come through chair into standing extension as you inhale. And exhale, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, either leaving the hands down or doing that interlacing. Bend your knees, scoop through. Inhale, reach. Exhale, heart. Left side, inhale. Exhale, fold. Left leg back. Inhale. Exhale, standing forward fold with Yoga Mudra. Bend and scoop, come through. Exhale, hands to heart. So just one more modification. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, see if you can come up without touching your fingertips to the floor, right into Yoga Mudra. Bend and scoop, come through. Exhale, hands to heart. Other side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Left leg back, low lunge. This time, see if you can just balance, come through. Interlacing Yoga Mudra. Bend and scoop. All the way into standing extension. And exhale, hands to heart. So any of those three variations are fine. We're going to do 2 more on the right, 2 more on the left. Begin when you're ready. Remember, the leg that steps back is the leg that steps forward. You're just doing each side individually. Even though this is a half sun salutation C, it's always interesting to see how it still builds quite a bit of warmth from the movement, which will help to prepare us for the rest of the postures we do in the practice. One more complete round on right and left. When you finish, standing mountain pose. Just take your time, find your breath. Maybe feel the heart beating a little faster. And then concentrate the warmth in the body down in the area of the abdomen. Really the center of balance where we perform most of our balance postures, there in the core. One more here. And we'll start with the big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And then exhale, interlace your fingers, push your palms away. Inhale, rise up onto the balls of the feet and come into a balance here into what we call traditional Tadasana. So heels are lifted as high as they can. Try to find that balance, and surprisingly, sometimes it's easier on certain days or harder on other days. And then we're going to try to challenge this balance. You can either just stay here if this is enough, or exhale, contract your abdomen and twist to the right, bringing the arms down just to shoulder distance in the shape of a T. And then inhale, come back. You can interlace the fingers again, restructure in the center, and then exhale, twist to the left, staying on the balls of the feet the whole time. Inhale, come up, find it again in the center. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, come up, find that balance. Exhale to the left. 2 more to the right, 2 more to the left. You can bring your heels down in between if it gets to be too much. One more to the left. Come back to center. And now slowly lower the heels down and the arms by your side, and enjoy feeling the feet flat on the earth. Take a moment here. Good. Back at the front of your mat. Hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold. Now this time we're going to step the left foot back. Stay high on the ball of that back foot. Press the front shin bone away from the back heel. Keep your fingers in a finger stand for just a moment. So you want, again, that heel lifted both up and out. You want to squeeze the inner thighs towards an imaginary midline. And then with your fingers in a finger stand, bring your heart forward. Feel that lift in the upper back. And you can either stay here, or if you're feeling like you want to challenge, extend your fingers out wide and just balance there for a moment. So here we're pressing up against gravity, using some of that strength there. Crown reaches away from back heel. Make sure that back leg is firm. Front shin bone presses away, but don't let that knee go over the ankle. And any tension that feels like it's gathering in the back of the heart, keep sending it out through the fingertips. So don't let that upper back really squeeze or create any new tension. One more here. And then lower the fingertips to the floor. Now, if you need to flip your mat over to have a little extra padding underneath your knee, lower the left knee down. Excuse me. Fingers in a finger stand, lean forward into the lunge. And now you can take that knee over the ankle because the back knee is down. Really lower through the hips. One more breath here. And then we're going to sink back, flex your right foot, sit back on the heel. Now, traditionally the hip is in alignment with the knee in this position, but in this case we're going to allow that hip to go all the way down to the heel. And then just move down over the leg, really opening up the back of it. Do it again. Inhale, come forward, lean, stay here, breathe. Allow those hips to lower even more. Moving deeply into this stretch. And then do the same thing, walk back, flex the right foot. Make sure you're pulling back on the pinky toe side of that foot as you open in the back of the leg a little bit differently. One more like this, come forward. Inhale, stay, breathe here. Again, just like when we were moving slowly at the opening of the practice, really feeling all those individual muscle fibers. What's opening, what's holding back? Can you release? And then come back last time, walk back, flex the right foot. and then come forward again. This time we're going to release that knee so the mat can flip right back to where it was before. Take the hands on the inside of the right foot. You can wiggle the back toes back a little bit if you'd like. And now you're going to roll to the outside edge of the foot, letting the knee open up. And you can just stay there if that's enough for you. If you'd like, you could take the forearms to the floor, going a little bit deeper, but gaze here is either at the back knee or the navel. If this becomes too much to have the back leg lifted, then lower it to the floor. Breathe here. Keep the right foot engaged so you get that little protection there for the knee. Strong core, allowing that right hip to open. Two more. And then come off of that, rotate that foot back down, and then we're going to plant the left hand under the shoulder, right hand to the outside of the thigh, rotate that right thigh down, navel rotates to the right. You can stay here for the twist, or if you'd like, open the arm up, fingertips reach towards the heavens. And again, in that back leg, make sure you're firm. So really hug the muscle to the bone, contracting that quad. Enjoy this twist, wringing out, again, that cleaning, clearing out process. One more. And then fingertips to the floor. Step the left foot forward to meet the right, and then just hang over the legs. You can have your feet together or feet hip distance apart, whatever's more comfortable for you, but just allow that upper back to really soften. Micro bend the knees if you need to, and make sure you don't sink your weight in the heels. One more breath here. And now we'll do the other side. So you're going to step the right leg back. Stay high on the ball of the back foot, fingers in a finger stand. Lift that back heel both up and out, contracting the quad. Squeeze the inner thighs towards that imaginary midline. And then send your heart forward, and you can either keep the fingers in a finger stand, or you can extend the arms out wide. Breathe here. Feel crown reaching away from back heel. Don't gather that tension in the upper back. Two more. Relax. Watch. Check in with those shoulders, because that tension likes to creep up. Even when we think we're keeping it open, it's funny how it just kind of creeps right back in. And then bring fingertips to the floor, lower the knee down, and now lean into that front leg and really feel the legs open up. Stay here, breathe, free up the heart. And then sink back. Flex your right heel, tucking those toes under. You're sitting back. Flex your left foot. And let your upper body really soften over that leg. Hug the navel in and back. Find your breath. And then do it again. Come forward, inhale, lean into the lunge. Now with this low lunge, remember you can take that front knee over the ankle. It's okay, because the back knee's down. Breathe. Notice those little muscle fibers, new areas to open up each time. And then go back. Make sure you're pulling back on the pinky toe side of your left foot, as well as drawing the head of the left femur, the head of the thigh bone, deeper into your hip pocket. Again, come forward. Stay. Maybe a little new space opens up. And then last one, going back, sitting back on the heel, just letting that hamstring open up, back of the leg. Make sure you don't round the shoulders too much. Keep the heart at least energetically open. Okay, now you're going to go back into that front leg, tuck the back toes under, and we're going to slide that back a little bit so we have as long of a stance as possible. And then take your hands on the inside of the leg and open that leg up. So you're going to feel the knee open to the side, the outer foot stays grounded, the inner foot opens up, and of course, if you've got the flexibility for forearms, bring those down to the floor. Gaze at your back knee or foot or navel. Strong quad. And it's this balance between letting go and staying strong and stable, which is essentially what we need for our balance postures. Keep reaching through the forearms if they're down so you're not sagging in the shoulders. One more. And then come off, bring the hands on either side of the foot again, fingers in a finger stand. And now you'll plant that right hand down. You can rotate the left hip open, and if it's comfortable, take the left arm up. So you're moving into the twist here. Breathe deeply. Navel hugs back and provides a little more room to twist on exhalation. Last two. And then release, step the back foot forward, come into standing forward fold, and again, just either feet hip distance or together, let your upper body really soften. Use that warmth. And then bring your hands to your hips, scoop your heart as you press up to standing. And then come into Samastiti and just experience all that sensation. And for a moment, check into the tip of the nose and see if you can feel the breath flow between the nostrils. Has anything changed? Okay, so if you have a strap, it would be helpful to have one with you. You can do all of this without a strap by modifying. So you can take that strap and just throw it over your shoulder. Then bring your hands to your hips. Okay, so weight into your left foot. Lift your right knee up. You're going to start here. If you have the flexibility, you can hook the index middle thumb around your big toe, or you can wrap the strap around your foot and hold on to the strap. And we're going to balance by reaching down into that supporting leg. Feel a lift in your core. Feel the crown lifted. Breathe deeply here. Two more. Keep reaching through the heart. And then gently let go. And just wiggle the feet out. Find Samastiti again. Okay, other side. So hands to hips. Lift your left knee. Just stay here. This is perfectly fine, especially if balance is challenging. Or wrap the strap or hook your index middle thumb around your big toe. Ground through that supporting leg. So learning how to push down into the earth to create that firm foundation, and then lift through the pelvic floor, lift through the core, through the heart, through the crown. Breathe. And sometimes it's tempting to not breathe during balance postures and to hold the breath. So make sure that it's flowing. Relax your shoulders, your face, your jaw. One more. And then gently release. Find both feet for a moment. And then we're going to take the right foot into half lotus. So if half lotus isn't available, start by just bringing the foot to mid-thigh of your right, bend your right knee and put the foot to mid-thigh. This would be perfectly fine if you're tight. If you want to go a little deeper, you reach for the outside of the right foot, but bring it up into the crease of the left hip and let the right knee just gently come down. Now holding it there with the hand, breathe deeply. You can take the right hand back behind you and bind by grabbing onto your forearm. Let your right shoulder open up. Stay here. The last part of this is to forward fold. So if you want, you can bend the knee and you forward fold over the leg and bring the fingertips down and rest here in the forward fold. And when you have enough flexibility to do that, then you'll find that the leg will generally stay. Head and neck is relaxed. Breathe deeply here. No matter which position you're in, one more. And then you're going to gently, if you were in the forward fold, slowly come back up and release. Find Samastiti again if you need to roll out your ankles. Be comfortable and rest. Okay, we're going to do this on the other side. So weight goes into your right foot, and then we'll take the left foot onto mid-thigh and flex it and let the knee open up. So this would be your like stage one, just to get that rotation through the hip. If that's comfortable, then you can reach for the outside of the foot and bring it up into that right hip. The higher it is, the more stable it is for the leg. Then if you've got that stability, left arm reaches around and grabs for your bicep or forearm. Left shoulder is open. Breathe here. And then if you want that final stage, you are going to move into the forward fold. So I try to like lift it just a little higher, and then as I come down, fingertips will come to the floor, the foot will generally stay, and the head and neck is relaxed. Navel softens in and up under the rib cage. Head and neck is relaxed. One more. And then bending the knee to come out of it, slowly rise up, and then just lower it down. Take a moment to feel both feet. If you need to roll ankles, please do so. And just stabilize here. Gaze at the horizon line. Feel the challenge of that balance. And we'll come back to the front of our mats. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. First full vinyasa. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose. Flat back. And then exhale, step or lightly hop back to plank. And if you want for the first round here, bring knees to floor. Lift the toes behind you. Squeeze your elbows tight. Chaturanga till your belly comes down. Inhale, Elbows and shoulders pull back for cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here in down dog. Navel hugs in and up on exhalation. One more. And then come under the balls of the feet, bend the knees, look at the hands, step or lightly hop your feet forward. Inhale to monkey pose with a flat back. Exhale and forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. Arms reach. And exhale, hands to the heart. Now, if you have a block, you might want to bring that block near the front of your mat. Hands to hips. You're going to take our right leg and step it back 3.5 feet for a triangle. Hips are open to the side wall. So you want that heel to line up with the arch of the back foot so the hips are nice and open. Inhale, the arms long here. Exhale, we're just going to come halfway down, like someone's pulling your fingers away from you. And then inhale, come back up. Do that again. Exhale, come halfway down, like someone's pulling your fingers. Inhale, rise up. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Now this time we're going to go to stay, but you want to still feel like you're extending till you can't go any further. And then hand to the shin, ankle, foot, or floor, and the right arm lifts. Now in triangle pose, push the ball of the front foot away from the outside edge of the back. Send the sternum away from the pubic bone. And keep reaching the heart away from the outer back foot. Now you can just stay here in triangle pose if this is enough for you, or we're going to move into another balance where we're going to bring the fingertips down, step the left hand onto the block or the floor about 6 to 10 inches in front of the left pinky toe at a slight diagonal out, and then lift that right leg up in the air, stack the hips so right hip stacks right over left. Hips are still open to the side wall. And then from here, right arm can lift. Breathe deeply here. Make sure that foot isn't going behind you. You want to keep it right in alignment with the sacrum. Or if you want, this last option is to grab onto the top of the foot with a hand, Ardha Chipasana, bending that knee, and feel that you push the foot into the hand to create a greater back bend. So the thigh opens up, the hip opens up a little bit deeper, and you get this beautiful opening through the right shoulder. One more here. Now releasing that leg, come back into half moon if you had it in Ardha Chipasana. And then we're going to very carefully, using our balance, go back into triangle. So bend the front knee, step the back foot back, find triangle position. And then slowly press into the feet, come back up, turn your toes in for a moment, heels out, find hands to hips, and just rest. Take a moment here, let the breath settle. And again, notice what's happening in the mind. So these balance postures are so amazing about bringing focus to the mind, which then provides that clarity. Now we're just going to reverse it all. So if you want to put that block near the back of your mat, our stance should be still in about the same, about 3.5. So all you'd have to do then is turn your right toes out. Make sure that the front heel is lined up with the arch of the back foot and the hips are open still to the side wall. Inhale, the arms reach up, and exhale, lengthen like someone's pulling your arm away from you. Inhale, come back up. Do it again. Exhale, lengthen. As much lateral space as you can find. Inhale, come up. Again. Exhale. Inhale. And now this time we'll reach as far as we can, like someone was pulling our arm. And then when we can't go any further, hand to the shin, ankle, foot, or floor, and come into triangle pose. Breathe here. Again, those alignment principles, so the legs stay firm, press to the ball of the front foot, the outside edge of the back, and really work that heart away from the hips. Lean back with your chest, and make sure you're not down too far that it's hard to breathe. You want to be able to have that full, complete breath. And then staying here in triangle is option number 1. It's a great posture. Or bring the hand down, take it, hand onto the block, about 6 to 10 inches in front of that pinky toe, slight diagonal out. Step the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg up, and come into half moon. Breathe here. So with that left hip stacked over right, flex the foot. Make sure that foot doesn't sink back. And if you're going to challenge that Ardha Chipasana, grab onto the top of the foot with the hand. And then you're just pushing that foot into the hand. And as you do, it's almost like a half bow. You feel the back bend deepen, feel the left shoulder open. Breathe here. And you can release that foot so that you come back into half moon 2, and then very carefully bend into that front knee and try to find your triangle pose. As you stick it, feel the stability in the legs. Last breath here. And then press into the feet, slowly come up. Turn the toes in, hands to hips. Make sure the feet are parallel. And rest. Find your breath. Take your time. You can close your eyes or have that soft gaze at the horizon line. One more here. And inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, sweep them behind you for Yoga Mudra. Like we started, interlace, pull the knuckles away, and now forward fold through the legs and just soften. So we've done a lot of asymmetrical work here in our postures. Enjoy the symmetry. Take the shoulders away from the ears, create space in the back. Keep letting go. And now you can slowly lower the hands down and hold on to the outside edges of the ankles. If you want to just stay here for an inversion, you can. You can also take your block and place it underneath your head so that you get that feeling of what it's like to be inverted with the crown on the floor. But if you have the flexibility and the strength, you can move into headstand. So you would wrap your elbows or hands around the elbows, interlace the fingers, press the forearms down, and you would tuck your pinky finger into your hands so that you're not going to roll over that bone, and then the head goes down into the cup of the hands. You press down and slowly come up. Keep anchoring through the elbows and forearms, making space in the shoulders. Or if you're staying in that wide foot spreading posture, keep letting go. Let the blood flood the heart, the head. Just a couple more. So if you were in headstand, slowly make your way back into the wide foot spreading posture. Take a moment there just to settle. And then walk your hands forward for just a moment and let the blood level out. Fingers in a finger stand. Take a moment just to ease back. And then turn the toes out, heels in. You might need to heel toe in a little bit, and we're going to come down into a wide squat, letting the hips soften towards the floor, hands to prayer. Settle here, take your time, enjoy. And then bring your hands down, bring your knees down, one and then the other. Sit on your heels in Vajrasana and just let your hands rest in your lap. And let the rest of the blood just ease back down. Feel balance, feel equanimous. And once again, check in with the nostrils. Notice right, left, any changes. And we're going to come onto our back. So hips to one side. We're going to do some posture stills, so we're not preparing entirely for Shavasana yet. But as you come onto your back, we're going to have our feet flat, knees bent for bridge pose. So starting with your arms down by your side, feet are hip distance apart. See if you can lightly touch your heels with your fingertips. We're going to inhale, just roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. And then exhale and slowly roll down. And take your time with this. And two more dynamic, please, like this. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll down. Inhale, roll up. And exhale, roll down. So we're kind of showing the body where we're going. And then we're going to stay. So if dynamic is better for you, you can continue dynamic. Otherwise, you're going to press into the feet and roll up through the spine. And then tuck the shoulders underneath you and interlace your fingers. Now, if that's not in your practice, you can grab onto the outside edges of your mat and just rotate the inner elbows up towards the ceiling. And that's a nice way to do it as well. So we're going to stay here and breathe in our bridge pose, strengthening that back body. But since we're working with balance today, we could try balancing as well. So if you want to heel toe your right foot in a little bit more towards the center line and step your left leg up in the air, reaching out through the ball of the foot, spreading the toes. Just take 2 more breaths here. And then switch as that left foot goes down. Find your balance again. And then heel toe that foot in slightly towards the midline. And now reach your right leg up in the air. Breathe. And then bring that foot down. Stay here. Into your bridge pose. 2 more. And then rise onto the balls of the feet. Release your shoulders. And 1 vertebrae at a time. Just melt the spine back down into the mat. Let the feet be a little bit wider than the hips. Let the knees fall into one another and just rest. Good, one more. Now we're gonna let the left arm roll over our head and curl onto your side body for Anantanasana, lining your whole side body up with the side of your mat, so you feel that you're relatively balanced here. Now in this bottom arm, we're gonna bring the forearm down just slightly in front of the shoulder, and you're actually sinking the shoulder up by the ear, which is something we don't usually do in yoga, but here we're gonna do that so that we dip through the left side body and we get a nice lateral stretch. Now you can stay in this position. Traditionally the right hand just rests on the hip, but if you have the flexibility, you can hook the index, middle thumb around your big toe and take the right leg up in the air. Bend the elbow. And this posture is always surprising to me because it is about balance. It is a lateral stretch, but it's also about balance. Staying equanimous. Breathe here. In fact, the mythology around this posture also is about balance and focus. Two more. Good, and then gently release the foot. Slowly let that come down. And then you can come back onto your back. And we'll do it on the other side. So you can just roll over onto your right side. Again, you're gonna line your body up with the side of your mat. And then you're gonna prop the right forearm down just slightly in front of the shoulder. Left hand can rest on the leg and just feel your body balancing here. Begin to sink that right shoulder up by the ear and let the rib cage dip. And if you've got the flexibility, hook the index, middle thumb around your big toe and straighten the leg. So either way, leg lifted or lowered, we're still feeling that we have to find and maintain that balance. Two more. And we'll gently release now from here. This time we're going to come onto our tummies. So just rest your forehead onto your hands for a moment. And then bend your knees. Grab onto the tops of your feet with your hands. We're going to have this back bend here on our tummies, Dhanurasana bow pose. So again, this too has that element of balance. And your next inhalation, press into the pubic bone, and everything that can lift up off the earth will. So push the feet back, lift as high as you can, really engage your legs. The more you use the legs, the more that upper body opens, pulling the shoulders back. Breathe here, balancing right on that center point. Two more breaths. Lift as high as you can. And relax everything down. Turn your cheek to one side and completely settle. Turn your cheek to the other side. Feel your belly breathing into the mat. Span the kidneys. And then come onto your back. Knees into chest this time. Rock a little bit from side to side on the spine. And now hold on to your shin bones just below the knees and let your right knee push forward as you turn your left cheek into the mat. And then switch. Let your left knee push forward as you turn your right cheek into the mat. So just keep going back and forth. Right knee presses forward. Left cheek goes down, so you want to feel that stretch along the top of the right shoulder. And same thing, left knee presses forward. Right cheek comes down. That right knee hugs in. And one more to each side. Take your time. There's no rush. Now both feet straight up in the air. Flex the feet, soles of the feet face the ceiling. And make sure that the feet line up with the hips so they're not coming too far forward over your head. Pull back on the pinky toe side of the foot. Breathe here. Now, if this is enough for your core, you can just stay there. If you want to challenge, take your thumbs underneath your hips, and you're going to very slowly lower the legs down just to an inch or so above the ground. And then exhale. You're going to lower the navel towards the floor as the legs come up. Repeat that again. Inhale, take the legs down. Just about an inch above the ground. Press the belly button down. Exhale as you come all the way back up. And just a couple more here, just to maintain that strong core, that center of balance that we've been working with. Three more, please. And when you finish the last one, hug the knees into the chest. One more time. We'll just finish with a nice twist here, arms out wide, palms face up, knees to left as you look right. Try to get those knees to stack, and if you'd like, you can use your hand to hold them in place. As your navel rotates to the right, soften your right shoulder. If you've got a little more flexibility, you can straighten the right leg and reach for the outside of the foot with the hand. Excuse me. Keep letting go. And then gently release, come back to center, and switch sides. Knees move to the right. Left arm opens up. You can hold on to the knees to make sure that the knees are stacked. You're stacking knees and hips. Keep letting go through the waist, through the left shoulder. And if you want to straighten that left leg, holding on to the outside of the foot with a hand, you can. Just breathe deeply here. Last one. And then come back to center. One last final hug of the knees into the chest. And if you want, you can even curl up, bring your forehead towards your knees, get into a tiny little ball. And then release. And prepare for Shavasana. So if you want to put socks and sweaters back on to cool down slowly, take a moment to do that. Once you're able to come back onto your back, tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, palms face up, feet a little wider than hip distance, toes turn out to the side. Make sure nothing is touching your fingertips or your toes. And if you are in a lighted room, use a piece of material to block out the light. We prepare the body and mind for going inward, even deeper than our practice. So as you settle here, once again, observe the tip of the nose, checking in with those nostrils to see if any change has occurred. So very slowly begin to deepen your breath. Run your thumb across your fingertips. Wiggle your toes. Roll wrists and ankles and ease the awareness back into the body. And curl your right side into fetal for a moment, arm under the head as a pillow. And placing the hand into the earth, slowly come back up into seated. If you want to prop your sit bones up for a few moments here, pranayama meditation. So sit with a tall spine and a relaxed body. And once again, bring your awareness to the tip of the nose, observing the flow of breath from tip to bridge on inhale and bridge to tip on exhale. Notice if they're balanced or is one side predominant. And if you find that one side has some dominance, you can bring your hands into your armpits. Your thumbs point up into the fleshy part of the skin there, and the fingers are tucked into the armpit. And then you can pay attention to the flow of breath at the tip of the nostrils. And if, for instance, the right side nostril is more open than the left, then you can press the left hand into the right armpit, not only pressing the hand inward, but also the thumb pressing into the flesh. And as you squeeze and hold that, notice the left nostril opening up to find balance. And vice versa. So say the left is more open than the right, you would press into the left armpit until they found balance. So take a moment to bring them into balance. And if they already are, you don't have to have this hand position. You can just keep the hands down on the knees in whatever way is most comfortable for you. In addition to the pressure in the armpit, continue to see and feel in your mind the weaker side opening and the two becoming balanced. So adding in a little bit of the power of the mind will help quicken the process. Whenever the nostrils have become balanced, you can lower the hands. And we're going to begin alternate nostril breathing, but using the power of our mind. So inhale in through your left nostril. See it come in as a stream of light to the third eye in between the eyebrows. And then exhale from the third eye, a stream of light out the right nostril, just to about an inch below the rim of the nose. Inhale that stream of light in through the right nostril to the third eye, point between the eyebrows. And exhale from the third eye, stream of light, out the left nostril to about an inch below the rim of the nose. And that completes one round. Let's do it again. Inhale in through the left, Stream of light to the point between the eyebrows. Exhale from the third eye down, out the right nostril. Inhale in through the right nostril, stream of light to the point between the eyebrows. And then exhale, stream of light out the left nostril. Please continue as you've maybe observed, you're creating an inverted V. And that meeting point is at the third eye in between the eyebrows. And rather than trying to imagine that stream of light, relax and just observe. Light moving, or awareness moving, almost as if by itself. Don't rush. Keep meeting at that point between the eyebrows. What you may begin to notice is that that point between the eyebrows becomes illuminated, and that the light remains there even as the stream is exiting the nostril. So as the light grows there between the eyebrows, more and more of your attention will be drawn towards it. And when it becomes strong enough to hold your attention, you can let the breathing technique go and just hold your attention at the third eye, absorbing the mind in the light. Let the light seep into the brain, flooding the brain with light. And maybe even begin to feel that the circumference of the light grows even beyond the head into the etheric body, this vast circle of light, maybe even encompassing the heart. Still holding attention at the third eye, seeing and feeling the light surrounding and within the whole whole body. And now keeping this good feeling with you, remembering that this light is who you really are, beyond name and form, beyond age, stage of life, beyond all the plays of opposites. And keeping that, you'll just lower your chin to your chest. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. Go back to the intention we set. And just trust that you received what you could receive from this practice today. These qualities of balance, equanimity. And carry that with you through the rest of your day and through your week. And remember, you can return to these teachings at any time that you need to. We'll seal with an Om. Deep inhale in. Namaste.